I learned that branding is one of the most important elements of your craft. So when I first started my career, I was doing the absolute most in terms of just trying to get the work right. I'll never forget when I got the call to say that I got the job on Stargist. And on our first shoot day, I mean, imagine this is like a 24-minute show. It took us about 8 hours to shoot one episode because myself and my co-host Lawrence we didn't know what we were doing. We couldn't figure it out. I'd never seen a teleprompter in my life. I don't think I'd seen a script for television before in my life either at that point. But somehow I'd been placed there and everybody around me believed that I could do it. It was tough, you know, and especially when you're not getting very positive feedback. I remember, you know, kind of the execs at the time sent a memo down to production saying, this girl is not really getting it right. And they actually got me a coach. They're like, you know what, we'll foot the bill. We're gonna send her to such and such a coach who's gonna teach her how to present, how to host. My biggest problem was that I had the I had the neck thing. So for some reason, it was so subconscious. So I'd be speaking and I mean, I still have it, but you know, the good thing is that it's now gotten to a point where it's a bit of sass and a bit of a signature. But that comes with branding, which is where I'm going with this. I got this email and it said, you are going to be hosting the first ever Africa Magic Viewers Choice Awards. Oh my gosh, this is the equivalent of the African Oscars. What? Oh my gosh, me? I was ecstatic. But guess what? I'd been in the business for less than a year at this point. I was also clueless. I didn't know about styling. I was clueless. So, you know, fast forward to it getting to time for the show, and the show was happening in Nigeria, and I was living in South Africa, and nobody in South Africa knew what it was. So nobody was ready to offer me support. I called my girl who was running a little store down the road doing her tailoring thing. I called her, I don't want to lie. I said, listen, I'm hosting this big show. I need dresses. I've got pictures of dresses I like, so let's make them. She said, no problem. Me and my tailor friends, oh yeah, there, we went, we sewed. This one, cut and paste, mix and match, we did that. And by the time I left Johannesburg for Lagos, I felt like, okay. Never mind the fact that my passport only came back from the visa office an hour before I had to go to the airport. So I had so much going on and very little help because everybody expects you to be a professional and know what you're doing. They just kind of like, it's not that they don't care, but they just expect that at that point, you should know what you're doing. You should, right? Shouldn't you? You know, opportunities will come sometimes when you don't even know that those are the opportunities you want or need. So it's imperative to always be ready. Well, honey, I now learned the hard way. Get to Lagos, there was a mix-up with my makeup artist, there was a mix-up with my hairstylist. It was literally about an hour to go live with the first ever Africa Magic Viewers Choice Awards, broadcasting across the whole continent live to millions of viewers. And the host had done no makeup, had no hairstylist, and had clothes from a tailor. Because I was ready from a craft side, I think I did a pretty good job. And the reviews were like, wow, this girl is good. But everybody was like, what is she wearing though? Like, what's going on? What's going on with her face? Like, what's going on with her hair? So guess what? That night, the one thing that trended were my hips. It wasn't how well I spoke or how well I hosted, it was my hips. And I learned a massive lesson on that flight back home to Johannesburg. I learned that branding is one of the most important elements of your craft. If you want people to patronize you, you want people to support you, people want value at the end of the day. If you're just gonna be like the next person, or if you're just gonna look like you never made an effort, because trust me, darling, even if you made an effort, if you made the effort in the wrong place or in the wrong direction, it's not gonna bring value to the table. People are gonna think you didn't bother. And if you're not gonna direct your effort and your energy to the right place, then actually don't even bother. Work on your craft. Become the best at what you do. If you're the best at what you do and you're not able to communicate to people that I am the best at what I do, by branding yourself as the best physically, you know, communication, whatever your website says, whatever your business card says and it looks like, how do you conduct yourself in meetings? Are you respectful? Are you memorable? So branding is not about clothes, it's not about, all those things are great extras. Of course in my industry, listen, it's a very important part. It sets you aside and it gets you that extra bit further. But in all other lines of work, my dear, make sure that you're taking the necessary time to appeal to people beyond being a